Yeah, I mean, look, there's some positives that came out of this game, and Nitin Kumar makes a statement. I was wondering would lack of offense, when would the lack of offense would start getting to our defense. I think it might be happening already. This front is much better than this, and that's true, Nitin. We were just talking about it earlier. This defensive line is supposed to be the heart and soul of the team, and they're not getting the pressure that they need to. We just saw Cleveland be able to pull off 9 sacks against Chicago Bears against Justin Fields. And even though Justin Fields is a rookie quarterback, he's a mobile quarterback, and they were still able to bring him down 9 times. That is a dominant defensive line. Right now, what we have isn't playing like a dominant defensive line. We have the talent that could be a dominant defensive line, but it's not. And is complementary football a big reason for that? Absolutely. Grant was tweeting, and I think Jesse was tweeting that, like, in the last 8 quarters, this was, before the game and into the, first quarter, in the last 8 quarters, the 49ers had only scored, I think it was like 26 points or something like that. The lack of being able to score is a problem. And it seems like they're only scoring at like the end of the second half when it's like a hurry up offense, right? It's not in the flow of the game. Even though they did get one touchdown at the beginning of the half, if you noticed, even against the Eagles, they got back in the game in the last drive, 90-yard drive at the end of the second half. Same type of situation here as well. So they're starting really, really slow, and this team isn't a team that comes back very well, right? They're much better with the lead. So what needs to change so that the 49ers can come out and their offense be actually, making drives, getting first downs, and getting that lead to start out with? Because that's what really happened in 2019. They would go out, they would run the ball really, very well, get the lead, and then the defense was able to eat because now they're dictating, what the offense of the other team is able to do.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, at that time, Garoppolo was relatively new because he never played a full season before that. So teams were still figuring him out. Now teams know that. That's why they are stacking up the books. Now, I mean, just look at some of these passes which were broken down by Green Bay. Usually, in 2019, those passes would have been first downs, maybe second and one. But now the defenses know that's exactly where Garoppolo is going to throw. So Garoppolo is missing on these throws because his receivers are covered and he can't deep throw deep. Sorry, I got it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have a run game. And then I don't know where are we going to go with this, because let's say we have some easy games on the schedule, that's true, but even if we make to playoffs, are we really a Super Bowl contender at this
Absolutely not
level?
at this time. Absolutely not at this time.
Right? So then what's the purpose? What's the purpose are we going to achieve with playing Garoppolo, winning, let's say, 10, 11 games, going to playoff, then lose in wild card or divisional round? It's a season without no progress. Trey Lance is just sitting over there. I mean, forget about Trey Lance, his ability to throw, his accuracy and everything. But we saw what he can bring to this offense just by the touchdown that he scored. He was so determined that he's going to score.
Right.
Right?
I think
We
he's
could
been on
see.
the he's played what, 5 snaps, and 2 of them have been touchdowns.
Yes.
So yeah, and I
So
mean that could be also down in distance, but Harold Murillo says, would the result be different if Lance would have gotten more opportunities? Hard to say, but I think the 49ers could have won this game if Lance would have had 2 more thoughts. So this is my thing about Lance. So if you saw that rollout, where it ended up being a penalty on Kittle, the throw that he made wasn't necessarily like a very good throw, right? He didn't put enough. Like before, he was gunning it in the preseason, and maybe it was because Ayuk was back there. He didn't want to throw it hard, but that was one of the throws where he needed to like fit it in and get the ball there quicker to make the touchdown. But there's gonna be ups and downs. Look, we're seeing ups and downs with Jimmy. So why wouldn't we give the same type of grace to Trey and see his ups and downs? We talked about Jimmy, through the interception. Jimmy threw balls that should have been intercepted. Why not give those same reps to Trey? Because Harold, where I do think it would be a big difference is though there was a lot of times where the coverage was good and Jimmy was just sitting back there and didn't know what to do. If it was Trey, Trey would have taken off. There was a lot of room in front of him where if Jimmy was a more mobile quarterback or a better athlete, maybe get some yards on the ground. And even during the telecast, I think Chris Collinsworth was talking about, on these handoffs and on these, RPOs that the 49ers run, nobody's really paying attention to Jimmy because they know that he's not going to take off running. But if Trey's back there, it makes the defense have to think about one more thing. And that extra thought process opens up the field for other players as well, right? So it could have helped out the running game more. It could have helped maybe the passing game. So I think that what kind of like what Bruno was saying, we know what this team is with Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, it could be a playoff team, but is it going to be a playoff? Is it going to be a Super Bowl team? I don't know. I would say if there was a bet right now, I would bet no, it's not going to be a Super Bowl team. So why not us see what it is with Trey Lance? And I don't think Trey Lance is going to play that much worse. If anything, he'll play the same type of ball that Jimmy is playing. So I'm with you, Varuna. I think we need to start seeing Trey a little bit more. Harold had
Yeah,
a question.
and yeah, I want to address this comment really quickly. I'm not saying to give up. I'm saying use this season for something worth. Because with Jimmy, winning 10 games or 11 games, going to playoffs, or not going all the way doesn't give you anything. Because Trey Lance, remember, Trey Lance is going to have rookie pains. He is going to make mistakes. He needs time to develop. So let him develop this year. And right now, D'Amico Ryans, he is doing a good job being a first-year defensive coordinator. You have to keep that in mind as well. So if D'Amico Ryans is going to do well, he's also going to get most probably picked up by another team for a head coaching job or something. So while you have Kyle, D'Amico Ryans, and Trey Lance, use to build it. Because if Kyle Shanahan is the genius that he says, the offensive mind, he can build a offense around Trey Lance that can score 20, let's say 25 points, 30 points, even 20 points per game and win it. So he can build a offense to build 10 games easily with the schedule that we have. So use this season for something worth. Because otherwise, end of the season, okay, we would have nothing. Because there's one thing. Jimmy getting us to the playoffs does not increase his trade value because teams doesn't see the San Francisco's record when they are trading for Jimmy. They are just evaluating the Jimmy Garoppolo, the quarterback, because whoever the team who is going to trade for Jimmy, they want to upgrade their quarterback position. Can you guys be honest and answer that can Jimmy Garoppolo elevate a quarterback position for a team who is looking for a Super Bowl within next 2 years?
Yeah. Packers need new linebacker with Barnes out for the season. 49ers should have given both quarterbacks more in the preseason to figure it out or play Trey Lance first quarter and then Jimmy the rest. Yeah, I mean, I think Trey Lance actually got a lot of opportunity through training camp and in the preseason. He just he just didn't wow the team enough. So here's the thing: a lot of people think it's Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan is kind of in between a rock and a hard place because I think the team really likes Jimmy and wants to play hard for Jimmy. I think that Kyle knows that Jimmy is limited and would like to start Trey. We talked about it a little bit earlier. He needs to. He's the coach. He's the CEO of the team. He needs to be able to make a decision and make that call if that's what he wants to do. But yeah, I mean, look, facts. Rams and Cardinals are the big dogs in the division. Use it as experience here. Let Trey play last 5 games. Look, this NFC West is going to be extremely close, and these are the type of games that are going to matter in the end of the season when it's the difference between 1 or 2 games. And looking back at a game where Green Bay had offensive line issues, secondary issues, and the 49ers dropped the game, a winnable game where they were favored and should have dominated, that is that could come up and be the reason why we don't, get a higher seed or maybe not even make the playoffs. So yeah, the Rams and Cardinals are definitely playing better right now on both sides of the ball. And you know, luckily it's week 3. There's still a lot of time, but we haven't even played any interdivisional games yet. So we play Seattle next week, play the Cardinals after that. So we could definitely get these games back, but not the way we're playing right now.
Yes. I mean, one thing I would have to say is that why, I mean, we are all behind this team because we are fans, but at the same time, we are really getting mad because we know this team has potential. And it's crime to not live up to your potential because that's the worst thing in any sport that I don't want to see from a player or team, that when they have potential and they are not living up to it. So that's what this team is doing right now. So I mean it's okay, Kyle, do whatever you want. End of the
Yeah.
day, as David Lombardi says, we are not paying for Jimmy. So you can have guys like David Lombardi at your side and go the way you want. Fine.